Peace and love, y'all. I just want to get y'all to understand something. There's a difference between a movement and the actual revolution. You understand? The movement is exactly what it sounds like. It's the move. It's the move to the revolution. The movement serves as the vehicle per se, and the revolution is the actual destination. You understand? So when you hear Black Lives Matter is the movement. You understand? It's a movement. Like the NAACP movement, like the civil rights movement, like the Black Panther movement, like the Free Huey movement, like the Nation of Islam movement, like the Rodney King movement, like the Vote or Die movement, like the hip hop movement, like the I Can't Breathe movement, like the Arizona and Skittles movement, like the Hands Up movement. They are all the move. They are all the move to the revolution, to the big picture. You understand? So when we're fighting, when you have organizations that are fighting police brutality, that is the movement for police brutality. When you have people, organizations and movements fighting for the healthcare system, that's a movement for the healthcare system. When you have people, organizations or movements that are fighting for racism or fighting for the prison system, those are movements in itself. But they all serve as treatments for the symptoms. You understand? But but the bigger picture is the virus. And if they all do their job, if they all do their parts and their movements with their move to the revolution, we will have a revolution. It is scientifically proven that when the pressure rises, the top must blow off. Scientifically proven. So it's not a matter of whether you want a revolution to happen. It's a matter of you have to prepare for it because it's going to happen. Whether you want a revolution to happen or not, it is going to happen. So if you are not a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. If you are not involved, or you're not involved in a movement, or you're not educating yourself, or you're not educating those around you, then you need to do something about it, because when the shit hits the fan, everybody's going to get hit in the lip. And you want to make sure that you're educated enough to have you a paper towel around to wipe it off. Peace and love.
What does the Black Lives Matter cause stand for? A lot of people ask that question. Well, I'm here to give you an answer. It stands for Black Liberation and Black Sovereignty. Our mission is to kill racial domination and fabricate the viciousness dispensed on Black communities by the state and vigilantes, by fighting and countering demonstrations of brutality and making space for Black creative minds and advancement. All while trying to educate people about systematic racism. Black Lives Matter is a philosophical and political intersection as we know it. Black lives are efficiently and deliberately focused on destruction. It is a confirmation of Black people's humankind and our commitments to the general public as well as our versatility. Even when we withstand fatal abuse, I feel like they will help improvements of new Black leaders and make an organization where Black individuals, like such as myself, will feel engaged to decide predeterminations in our communities and to not be afraid to stand up against any threat that comes our way.
Today, when we think about the Black Lives Matter movement, we think about innocent lives being taken away at its core due to the color of their skin. In 2013, Alicia Garza used Black Lives Matter in a quote, and shortly after, Patrisse Cullors, a close friend, turned it into a hashtag. Its grim beginning was inspired by and sparked by the murder of Trayvon Martin, also in 2013. The Black Lives Matter movement can be rooted back to the Civil Rights Movement, which was from 1954 through 1968, and was began by the actions of Rosa Parks. It focused on social, political, legal, and cultural equality, and ended with the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Now that we know how it started, we must ask ourselves what caused it to start, and for that we must look at the bigger picture. It is not just about murders. It is an outcry to the public of how the system is so flawed. Systematic oppression is defined by the unequal treatment of different social identity groups. It comes in many forms and can affect us based on gender, sexuality, and race. It affects our opportunities In more ways than we can imagine, Black lives are at the forefront of this oppression. What Black Lives Matter is ultimately a movement to create and ensure equal opportunities for all inhabitants, the same opportunities that have been promised to each individual within this nation but have been failed to be nurtured. The idea of this movement is nothing new, and it is our responsibility to keep it being heard.
When did the hashtag Black Lives Matter started and debuted? It debuted in 2013 on Twitter, shortly after Michael Brown was shot and killed by police Darcin Wilson. It was created in 2013, but it wasn't until 2014 in August, which exploded over a protest that was being on hold in memory of Michael Brown, who was shot by a policeman named Darcin Wilson. Michael Brown's protest was held. 18 cities participated and over 500 people showed up. In August 2014, the hashtag Black Lives Matter was used and retweeted over 52,000 times. Besides the very powerful hashtag, we would like to share our thoughts on our beautiful artwork that we have created and express what it means to us and what we're trying to do along the movement. Tiana shares, it means that the world has spread in different roles and how it is involved. It's a huge diversity that is actually trying to be part of the movement, and we're all willing to understand it and make things happen and assist in what we can. Roger, it means that there's different races and sex in the artwork as we all ally and stand together for Black Lives Matter. Now, Angela, people in the poster look young, which to me signifies that we all have responsibility to represent the movement to the youth for all cultural as we step up to make a change. As in for me, what my artwork means to me, it means everything. It means my voice, your voice, everyone's voice. We are the change. We are the future. We need to ally. We need to get together. We need to work for exchange. Let's empower the movement. Let's keep talking about the movement. Let's teach our children about the movement. Think about it. Matter what? It shouldn't matter. Think about it. Nobody was ever born thinking my life mattered more than yours. That was taught. And that was shown. Let's show our kids and let's teach them. Let's educate ourselves about the movement. Let's show the world that we are united and that color does not. We really could be the change we want to see. We just have to keep going. We have to educate ourselves and educate others to be what we want to see.
Imagine a loved one of yours dying due to the color of their skin. Whether the person is Asian, Black, white, Hispanic, or another race that I did not mention. Their race is under attack and they're scared for their life. The reality is that we're in a time where Black people are being killed for something that causes no harm to others. Police officers are murdering Black people for no reason. Most people who are being killed are unharmed and scared because they know that with a single wrong movement, their precious life can be ended in an instant. What was the final straw for the world to snap was the murder of George Floyd. A police officer kneeled on his neck until he passed and couldn't breathe. This reminded us of a lion biting the neck of its prey before killing it. Similar situation. The world saw the inhumane and pointless way that poor man passed. There will never be a reason for killing that man. This made the world snap. If you're Asian, imagine living in a time where Asians are being murdered for no reason. If you're white, what if white people were shown being beaten by cops in almost every encounter with them and seeing it all over social media? If your sexuality isn't heterosexual and it's of others, just imagine a decent percentage of LGBT plus members dying in such a pattern that is almost consistent and scary, and being mistreated because of their sexuality. The point is, we're in a crisis where this is happening to Black people. I have Black friends that are scared because they have seen their own brothers and sisters die due to the color of their skin being different. More and more Black lives will continue to be taken and fall until a change is made. This is a cry for help and a cry for justice to be made from here and justice for the future.